close to pulling the engine from the F100. I just actually ordered my full comp cams kit today. It's everything. It's the springs, retainers, valves, obviously the cam, dual roller timing chain. So it's a pretty dope setup. But since I'm getting that close, I've got some kind of cool projects that I want to do that go along with it. One of them being this is the factory overflow tank, which is old and grody and plugged up. Because you see, no hose and nothing. This is what I'm going to replace it with. This is actually a Crystal Head vodka bottle. And it's going to be surprisingly easy. This is actually the bracket, get the socket off of it, that holds the original reservoir. It just clips around the neck, like so. All I'm going to do is get a longer bolt and spacer. I'm going to probably clean this up, and this will actually go around the neck of the bottle. I think I'm going to put like a piece of rubber in there or some sort of coating so it's not just metal and glass. But I'm also going to, let's see if I can show you what I'm talking about. I don't even know if I can really do that. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the palm of the hand out of nuts, and then I'm going to make some fingers out of bolts. So this would be one finger, and it would be your main fingers. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but basically it'll be the palm of the hand, and then the hand is going to actually come up around the skull, and the hand is going to be the shelf that the skull sits on, and then I'm going to plumb it all in copper. So this is going to be probably one of a couple videos of this. I'm going to start getting this hand mocked up. It'll probably be a while before this is actually on the truck. No sense in putting it on now because I'm going to be pulling the engine soon. But cool little project I'm knocking out, and let's do this. Alright, so here I am kind of making the palm for the hand, and basically all I'm doing is I'm just welding a bunch of nuts together. And all I've done is I made a base to start with. You obviously got that crimped in my vise, grounded to that, and what I'm doing to keep my nuts flat and give a base for them to sit on, this is just a magnet. Obviously, it's a flat base. Just stick in the bottom of it, and I can rotate it, and then just add my next nut. Bam! And then all I have to do is weld it. actually good for now. So, let's take this out. And right there's what I got going on. There's obviously more to come, but these are basically gonna act as knuckles, and the nuts and bolts are gonna come off them. I know you're probably not seeing what I'm seeing yet, but stick with me. Alright, so quick update on where we are at. Got the nuts all welded together. Let's see. So it turned out pretty clean. And what this piece is, I don't know if you've ever watched any of my previous videos. This is actually just a piece that I cut off the inner fender wells of the S10 that I had. This is literally just a piece of scrap I had laying around. It already had a bend in it. The only thing I did is I took my little baby vise and my hammer and I smacked it, and it needed just a little more bend in it. But this fits perfect to the contour of the skull. And the back section of it is just mocked up until it's on the truck. I don't exactly know how long the bracket needs to be, really. So I'm going to leave this just mocked up, but I am going to go ahead and do my hand. So let's get these fingers started. Alright guys, so I spared you just a bunch of welding and test fitting. I'm unfortunately out of bolts. I am going to finish this project on this episode, I do believe. Maybe wrap this up tomorrow. But as you can see, I got 3 fingers done, and all I did is I took my little cheap Harbor Freight magnet and I kind of just used it back and forth to kind of hold them in position so I could just burn them in real quick. You see, I got my pointer, my middle, and my thumb, and I can give you just a little sneak peek right here. But real quick, look at the comparison between what it came with what I'm switching to. Not really that big of a difference. I'm using the original bracket, and I'm just making a little shelf for it to sit on. That's really cool, basically. But I found a longer lag, and I don't know what this came out of, but it's going to work perfect for my spacer. And so let's get that little sneak peek going. And this just, wham, sits right in there. There's my spacer. Probably bend, put like a 90-degree bend, probably downward in the back, put a couple holes in it. Figure out something to do on the firewall of the truck to hold that. I'm gonna probably put some felt or something down there. But here's a little sneak peek. I got 2 more fingers to do, and that's where we'll be at next time you see this thing. Just to be all fingery. Alright, so day 2 on the F100 here. Nice rainy day, so it's a perfect day to get back to work on it. I went ahead and freestyled a little bit and jumped forward. It was just a lot of tedious welding, and I tried to include a little bit of that, but not bore you to death with it. And right here is where we are with it. And I'll flip the camera around so you can see this a little bit better. And here it is. Got my palm of my hand made out of nuts, like I said, and then just a bracket that was part of the S10 fender. And I used some washers, for some structural support, because the hand is a little bit heavy, and these are providing strength. They eliminated the little bit of flex that it had. Plus, it kind of looks like the arm of the hand coming from underneath. And I do not like the color of this antifreeze. I'm going to track down some green stuff. But all I did, like I said, I took the original bracket with a spacer. This is the original mounting location. I think I'm actually going to either drill a hole right here and move it this way, or maybe cut a little square and mount it right here. I think I'd like this to be a little bit lower. Reason being, there's a lot of flat surface right here to mount my hand. I could make this happen right where it is, but I think I'm gonna like it better just a few inches over and down. But check that out. Plus you'll be able to see it a little bit better, I think. But right there is where I am at it, and I unfortunately am at a standstill today because I forgot my drill at work. The only little thing that did throw a hiccup at me, which turned out to end up making this look a little bit cooler, is with the top of the bottle being a larger diameter than the original reservoir tank, it didn't allow this clamp to close as much. So all I did is I took a nut and 2 bolts, obviously, I welded them together on the underneath so you can't see them, and then 2 nuts, and then there's just a little, just enough to hold that in place. You know, it's not tight. I'm not trying to break this glass, but yeah, I wish I could get it here and get a better angle of this. Probably not. So there's my skull. On my hand. Damn. It's gonna look super sick when it's green instead of looking like piss. And I'm gonna hardline this baby in with some copper. I'll have a new aluminum radiator sitting next to it. The engine's gonna be all redone. And next time this pops up, this is gonna be all plumbed in and done.